Yeah. True. Come on. Hey, true. Hey, true. Hey.
Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is Let the Truth Be Told. Folks, we got a great show coming at you today. We got the presidential elections coming, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today, about those debates that I've seen and what they mean to us. Also, the second half of the show is that it's such a decline of marriage between black men and women. And that's one of the things that we need in our community is for black men and women again. So if you ain't got nothing to do, call a friend and let them know you're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is Let the Truth Be Told. Let the truth be told. I would rather for you to hurt me with the truth than comfort me with a lie. I'll see you in a second.
Come on. JJ on the track. Boy, preacher. Yeah. True. Come on. Hey, true. Hey, true. Hey. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Yeah. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Come on. I'm married to the truth. You're always there for me. And I know that you care for me. You're always down for me. You're always there to pick me up. You quit my thirst.
And welcome back. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is Let the Truth Be Told. First, I want to give all praises to God and my Lord and Savior, Yahshua. And for those who do not know what Yahshua means, that's Jesus in the Greek terms, or whoever put it in there. But our Savior, Yahshua, for making it possible for me to be here, as well as my guests, Facebook Live friends, and whoever listening across the country. First, let me introduce my host, man. We gonna get it in the show. I'm gonna set things up, but I got one of my hosts, man. This brother he's hot. He's a real activist. We go a long way back when we was kids, from the same hood, and it's our responsibility these days to pick the mantle up, and so that we can make a difference in this war that we're losing badly.
Right.
So, my brother Carlos, what's up, baby?
What's happening, brother Dave? It's time for everybody to wake up now, man. Let the truth be told. It's time for everybody to wake up.
Now,
too long.
Let me lay the groundwork for us right now. I'm taking my glasses off. I want black people to understand one thing. The 2020 elections is coming up. And I just don't know, and y'all got to really listen to what I'm saying. Black people, they make a damn fool out of us every time with every election that comes. We have to understand this, that it's like accepting the fact that we have to deal with two evils, and neither one of these parties is going to free or help black people.
That got to come from us.
Both parties are only saying things that they think that we might want to hear. They're going to make promises and say all these things about, if y'all just vote for me, I'm going to set you free. We're going to get you reparations. And black people, how much longer are we going to be dummies? If whatever party you belong to, now I'm going to keep it on both arenas. People say, oh, Dave, you don't like Democrats, you're a Republican. I'm not neither one of them. First of all, I'm a child of God, and they take precedence over any political party that's out here. Secondly, black people, we need to quit worrying about who is in office because neither party is going to do anything but trick us out of our votes and make no changes in the community and always look for excuses on why things didn't get done. And so I'm appealing to our common sense as a people. If we already know all the years of being Democrats, all the years of being Republican, and ain't none of that shit working for our community. Now, I have to keep it real. The Democrats make the biggest ass out of black people.
All the time.
And we're gonna chop it up in a minute. And I'm just laying this some food for thought for you. Just think about this. Black people have been voting for the Democratic Party since it was part, and it's still a part of the Ku Klux Klan when they were Dixiecrats. Black people used to be Republicans. But every year that it is a Democratic president, nothing get done to help the black community. Now, we got people, Kamala Harris, New Jersey, Corey, whatever.
Poor slaves.
Yeah,
Poor slaves.
we them house Negroes.
Yes.
They don't speak for us.
Not at all.
If you think that one of them house Negroes is going to get into office and make changes, then you're gonna get the same thing you got with Barack Obama. He didn't do nothing for nobody but the gays and the Mexicans and the elite white folks. Now, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but look outside y'all window and see it's still effed up like it was 8 years later after he was president. We have to understand that we cannot keep going down the same road because we getting the same.
You can't keep hitting that same wall.
Results.
Keep hitting that same wall and expecting it to be gone.
And so when I look at Facebook and I look at the comments that people make, and y'all, I make comments out there. I stand on somebody's dick sometime because we need to understand we keep waiting for saviors to save us. Our children are dying in the streets. The educational system for black people is at the lowest of all time. And yet we have all these great black leaders coming to see us when it's time to get elected, coming to make a few things right, and still have hidden agendas that has nothing to do with the black community. Y'all should be fed up. Black people, when are we going to get fed up and start taking care of ourselves?
Well, Brother David,
go ahead.
I would like to interject right here. You made mention about how the black community, what they would say, we're just as intelligent. Did you see where what was it, Biden? He say the poor kids are just as smart as the white kids. What do you mean the poor kids just as smart as the white kids? In other words, the black kids is just as smart as the white kids is what he's trying to say. Okay, that's very same Democrat has that very same mindset that everybody's looking and shunning on. They're trying to play the race card, the prejudice card on the Republicans, but they're just as prejudiced and just as racist as the Republicans. Because if not, how could it have been all this long time and nothing has improved? In all these years, after all these years of Democrats in politics, where is the improvement? How is it that this can still be happening in this day and time, and we still got people being gunned down, hunted?
Yep.
We still got the media covering things up. We still going through the same things that we did in the 60s. I mean, Emmett Till got exposed in the media. Why?
Because he's supposed to whistle at a white woman.
Yes, but he got exposed in the media because that mother had that open casket.
Yep, and that was the only thing. The reason why the nation got involved was because his mother opened the casket and they saw how bad that child had been beaten, the atrocities that was placed on that child. But let me say this. Now, it's a shame. And tell me if I'm right or wrong. Do anybody else see that black people, we are not advancing, but we regressing?
Absolutely.
We've lost so many civil rights. We've lost our identity. We've lost our communities, and we done lost the structure of the black family. Anybody
vision of
out
the
there that
struggle.
still see that?
We've even lost the vision of the struggle in itself. I mean, the whole struggle for equality, we've put it in the back burner. Who's speaking up for the struggle for equality and justice and civil rights if we steady losing them?
And the thing of it is I'm just trying to, I'm really trying to make people to think. Just think. Quit thinking about the partying. Stop thinking about the material stuff, because when you died, you ain't taking none of that with you. Stop thinking that you so much better than another black person because you got an education. We
Fancy
got
car.
what your fancy car? Your little investments. We have to understand that the white man has laid the groundwork for failure. He has laid that. He has perpetrated this crime way back when we were sleeping like we still sleeping, and now this is the culmination of our destiny. He has brought us. Yeah. He brought us to this place.
Yes, that's a structured check by the government.
And we helped them.
Yes.
You know, in the next segment, we're going to talk about some things on what we need to do to bring the black family back. But I'm talking about we have to be wise and conscious black voters now.
Right.
We're talking about right. Black and brown. Because we're talking about going into another 4 years. Everybody hates Trump, and I'm going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about Trump in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, then.
We're talking about going into another 4 years, and everybody is crying about Donald Trump. Everybody's saying he's ignorant. Everybody's saying nothing. And it's a bunch of po-ass black people that's picking up this fight for the damn Democrats to try to fuel us to get angry so that we can come out and vote a Biden in or Kamala Harris in or whoever that's running for the Democratic Party, to vote them in, and then they're going to do all the same stuff behind our back, just secretively, and then break it on us when we least expect it. At least with Donald Trump, we know he's an asshole, and he know he's a racist, so we ought to know how to deal with that. He up front with what he's doing. But I'm really saying this. Once we get Trump out of office and we put a Biden in, what we gonna do? If we put Joe Biden in, all y'all out here kissing up on Joe Biden's crotch, okay? Joe Biden was part of Three Strikes You Out. He was part of the Clinton administration with mass incarceration. He was part of saying that, when he tricked the black preachers into thinking that our children who was out here, who was selling the crack cocaine, because it was brought into the black community, that was part of the destruction of the black family. And then we turned against them, and we went with the white folks, and Bill Clinton said, yeah, we need Three Strikes You Out. Them children have gone crazy. These were our children. We should have been able to get them and cuff them and put them back in a position to where they could become respectable adults. And we didn't do that. And now y'all house Negroes sitting up here, y'all talking about we got to get Trump out. Well, what you gonna put in? You gonna put a Biden in? And from what I see right now, and I'm being for real with you, I don't like Trump, but Trump done signed a reform prison bill. A lot of brothers and sisters finna get out.
Yeah.
He done did that. The economy is booming.
Yeah.
Jobs are opportunity.
Kanye West seemed to have a little pull with it.
Right.
Okay, we got somebody with a little pull with it.
The thing of this, some of y'all Negroes not with good sense is gonna say, well, they done that because of Barack Obama. Right. Barack Obama didn't do nothing but cause us more problems and help the final destruction of the black family. And so I'm saying Trump got the Brown brothers on run that's here illegally. Now, this is what I'm going to say about that, because we've been talking about that. Even though we know that white folks came here as illegal aliens,
Yes, it is.
because you can't discover a country that's already got people living in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an invasion.
Then they tricked the Indians and had them to sign treaties, which was bills of sale to get the land from them. So we can't sit back and say,
the war that they started.
Right. So I'm saying to the brothers that's brown out here,
and don't let us not forget, they enslaved the blacks that were here that was able to go into slaves. Because see, the Indians, they couldn't do the slave work, and they just wouldn't do it.
They killed the Indians off too much, because they had to kill the Indians off too much.
They had to kill them because they wasn't going.
They wasn't going.
Indians
said, we're going to fight till our last breath.
But the blacks that were already here, pre-Columbus, they enslaved them like the other slaves that they brought from Africa. But there were indigenous blacks already here.
Right. Okay. And so what I'm laying is this, brothers and sisters, it is on us right now.
Yes.
This is us. We have to be quit getting tricked in food, passing the buck, and quit looking for reasons why we in this condition, because the white man wants you to think it's all our fault. Part of it is, but this is part of his big scheme.
Exactly.
His whole calculated scheme was to make us think that we're the worst, that we do all the crazy stuff on the earth, using the media to portray us as savages. Yeah. But it ain't nothing much more savage than what the white society has done to the blacks and to the Indians and to the brown people. Right. They got to be the most savage MFers in the world.
So savage that it has to be taken out because, like, I'm not against whites. I'm not against whites, but I am against racists. Okay, and the very same racist that's being instilled and being passed on generation to generation, that falls on somebody's hands. Somebody's keeping that going in that household. Well, so with the media, when you say propaganda, yes, you got to remember it's not only about what you say, it's also about what you keep from being said. The things that's kept out of history. You know, yeah, you got the picture of the black guy eating the watermelon. Oh, yeah, well, they took that and they ran with it. They made something whatever that really never was.
But now I got a question. To pose to my Facebook listeners. Every time I've been doing this show for about 6 years now, Earl, or whatever, I remember when I first started this show, I would be telling the truth about, and that's why I named the show that. I'm giving you true facts about our situation and what's really going on. It used to be every time I would give a show that we would get bad connections.
Right, yeah. That's propaganda. Once it's a form of propaganda, controlling the media.
The show, some 6 segments will be cut out and all of that. And the only reason why that was happening because I love my people. I already know what direction that we can go in. And anytime black men that will stand up, who has learned the white man's education and not afraid of them, anytime that they have a platform like we have here, and we continue to try to educate us on the next move in this war, these videos should go viral.
Okay, and man, let me interject one time. Brother David, do you remember when we went on the news with Channel 5 investigating with Phil Rogers?
Yeah.
And I came there and I brought that big old bag full of all that documentations and papers and letters from Barack Obama and everything. And Phil was looking at it, and we sat there, we talked about the corruption that was going on in Markham Court, and I told about some of the things that 2 years later, they finally started exposing. It finally started coming out. But when we went on that show, after all that talking, after all the showing him, excuse me, okay, well, I'm sorry, but he has so much documentation. I can say it on the radio. Out of everything that he could say on the TV, the only thing that they added that I said was hello.
Yep. Because
they cut everything else.
They cut everything else.
That's the media control.
Right. And that's media control. But the point that I'm making is, 8 black people, you see what's happening every day. The killings, the drugs. Yeah. We don't have health care of our own, really. I mean, our schools, the education system is low. If Biden would make a comment, because see, the demons know who the true leaders of this earth are,
Yeah.
and that's black people. He made a comment like, our children is just as smart as white kids.
But he hid it. He hid it by saying poor children.
But the real trick is this. If our children had the same educational tools that the white kids were getting, our children would surpass the white kids with knowledge because we are super intelligent. God made us that way because we were the first man and woman on the earth.
Adaptive.
Have you ever wondered why? And think about this. Have you wondered why that white people hate black people so much? Everybody hate us.
But yet they mimic our culture.
And yet they want to be like us.
Yes.
You have to start to ask yourself, why is that? The reason why that is because, shut that off. The reason why that is because that if I wanted to hit the red button there, that's my phone. Hit that. Somebody trying to call me through Messenger. I just started back. Y'all can call me at 708-223-8953. If you want to talk to me, 708-223-8953. Because I want a female to call and get on the line when we do this next segment. But what I'm saying is this. When are we going to take our own destiny in our hands?
Brother David, excuse me if I may interject. And we must understand, in order to take our destiny in our hand, we must awaken. We must become aware that this has been a calculated thing. This was a calculated thing. There are tapes that you can hear them in the conversations of the plans as they were planning it in legislation. When they pass these laws that they pass, they do this by choice. And if you think it's a joke, then why come Hillary say, I want to come in because we didn't meant for this to happen, but I'm going to fix what we did. Well, if you're going to fix what we did, let's take a good look at what all was done.
Right.
Because in mass incarceration, we know there was consequences and circumstances that fell behind that. You know, look at the destruction of a whole, generation. A whole generation without these fatherless homes that like we speaking on. Okay. Not to mention that the government attacked the black families' homes also with the Welfare Act and the welfare aid, because they required the fathers to be out of the home in order for the mothers and the families to get the assistance.
But you hear the
hold on, just one moment. Just like here recently, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they have in a couple of states, they didn't pass laws where if the female get neutered, they can get the time taken off their sentence. Males get clipped, they can get time off their sentence. That's in Arkansas, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I can look that up. The point that's ridiculous.
But the point that we're making is we have to start to ask ourselves why do they hate us so much? Why is that we are being attacked by whites? We are being attacked by the system. We're being attacked by our own people. Why? We have to start asking ourselves why. And the reason why is this.
Sweet Vicks.
You fear somebody that you continually to do wrong stuff to. You fear, and the fear is that if they ever wake up,
if they ever find out what we did,
if the white folks know this much, they say, if black people ever wake up, if they ever wake up and they stop taking our crap and they start holding their people accountable and they start putting money back into their own communities and quit taking our goods and buying we can buy on the international level. We just got to have the money to do it. If we just would take care of ourselves, put money into our own communities and our own schools, teach our own children our own black history. See, white folks is doing this every day.
Our government,
They have never stopped doing it. They've never stopped training their children. You don't see white kids out here shooting each other up, talking about we the G thing and all that. They're not doing that. They doing other stuff. They doing stuff like going out here to El Paso, killing 40 or 50 people.
Yes.
They in Dayton, killing people.
And then what they say he had a mental problem. Well, for that to have been a mental problem, that was pretty well calculated mental problem. Wasn't that real convenient though?
But the point that I'm making is this: is that we as Black people
have to wake up and see it.
We got to wake up and we have to see it.
Yes.
We just have to quit walking around with our eyes closed, wide open. We got to. This is not going to have, the Black community is not going to have a good ending if we don't stop right now and address the issues that this country has placed on us.
And let me interject. If you think it's a joke, it's not just the Black people, but you know, it's out of the Black and brown, where they already did away with the brown. Y'all see what they did with the brown. Okay, so now let's take a good look at who they're gonna come after next. Because if we were all united when they was doing this, when the government was doing this to us, and they, for the minorities, and they set together their plan, we got to look at what they got a plan in effect for the brown. Now what's going to be with the plan in effect for the Black? So ours have been, wait a minute, just like them gym shoe trucks,
yep,
them trap trucks where they put the gym shoe truck and they leave it open or what have you for the people come and steal the gym shoes and put a record on them, okay, well, all these felony convictions that was put on these individuals that was entrapped, because they didn't have none of them trucks out there internally. They ain't take them. And I know that I got some white, some of my partners and stuff, everything. They seen it in the neighborhood, they went and got it too. But in either which way, when we see that these traps, these tricks, the same way that they use that gym shoe truck is the same way, just like on my page that they got one of the ex-members, they got he came on the radio and he told, he's not in Illinois, you know, but he told about how they had found cases of guns in the morning that was left and put out over there in the wood area. Okay? No, but wait a minute. That's true. Now, if you put these guns out here, reckless, you got the fathers and all the leadership locked up or whatever, so you have no direction. So the streets go all young and free willy-nilly and dangerous and stuff, whatever, and chaos out here because there's been no guidance. Okay, you look at that. That was a calculated move. That calculated move has been destructive to the extent of what they show on TV now. They show the gun violence. They show the gun violence. Well, hell, you put the guns there. That's just like the crack. When they
say that for the next segment. That's the part. That's we're gonna get to that. Okay, let's say, but I'm appealing to Black people to say this. We're gonna get tricked again. I'm not gonna get tricked because I already know what the deal is. We have to be entrepreneurs. We have to have that kind of spirit. Some of us ain't gonna be entrepreneurs because we too busy wanting a job and we want that paycheck.
That's selling out.
But white folks are starting businesses every day. The economy is booming because Trump has did what he said. He put tariffs on people. He making American companies come back to the United States. He's opening up opportunities there for jobs. The illegals are leaving. Job opportunities all over. Black people just not going out there to get the jobs. They're not going to leave outside the community to get the job.
They're scared to leave.
And half of them,
excuse me. Let me interject. I might add though, let's not forget what the system has done, what it has made, what it has laid. Okay, because first of all, you know, you got the lawsuit going on about the unlawful towing of the cars and the class action about the cars being unlawfully taken. Well, wait a minute. In all due fairness, let's keep traps and road lines laid along the way, so it's already hard enough for us.
Let me say this. Let me say this. No. Let me finish this, and then. That's the part of the next conversation we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Black people, let us really think about going to vote for these people. We see Kamala Harris up there, and she's trying to come off as a strong Black woman. She's full of crap.
Yes, look at all the convictions
she done convicted so many innocent Black people, and then had enough nerve to laugh about it
house slave.
When she knew that they were innocent. She didn't care. She just did it for a number.
That's right.
Black people, I'm telling y'all, do some study on these candidates. And remember, you have to remember when it comes to election time, their past. You have to remember what Joe Biden did with the Clintons and with mass incarceration. You have to remember. You have to quit. You got to quit in forgetting what these people have done in the past and why we're here. If the Democrats did so much for Black people, why Black people in the state of affairs and condition that we in?
Exactly.
Damn, have some common sense. Think about it. We can't keep doing this. And I know I keep telling people, y'all need to make these videos go viral. But you know why it won't go viral? Because we telling the truth. And sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to wake up out of the glass menagerie world of materialistic crap. Man, I ain't going to do this because I don't want to hurt my job. Man, I ain't going to do this. You don't have a job, because when that man want to take it from you, he can take it, and guess what? You're on the welfare line yourself. You right on the welfare line yourself. So what I'm saying is this: let us stop depending on white folks and other political leaders to free us. Let us start to organize block by block. Let us put money into our own community. Let's get these foreigners. The foreigners got to go. The foreigners, Abdullah and a Karula and all the rest of them that don't take no baths, and you got to go in the store. I don't shop with the brothers, okay? But the simple fact is they look down on us and they treat us bad. And we still spend our money with them. So let's really take a look at our environment and what's happening to us. And then let's just stop picking up everybody's fight. We done picked this Donald Trump fight up for these white folks that get black people out the vote. Man, that Donald Trump this, that Donald Trump that. You know how idiotic that sounds? Y'all posting all on Facebook about Donald Trump, and y'all should be posting on how we can get together and stop Donald Trump from doing what he's doing to the black community. Yeah. Y'all just bitching and moaning and complaining.
Talk about it, be about it.
Be about some for real stuff. In another quick segment, everybody's sleeping on economic development. I keep telling folks, the marijuana law,
multi-billion.
It's going to be a billion-dollar industry. Yeah, and black people, if we don't get together on this, and I keep telling people, call me. We got the inside track on what's next. Because see, it's a lot of stuff that's going on under the scenes right now that black investors don't even know about. And it's not going to come out until it's too late. Right. And we won't own no licenses. The whites will own all the licenses, and they'll still be opening for them, and the black dollar still gonna be leaving, especially for those who've been arrested, been convicted of marijuana. There's special elements to the law, special grants that you can get because the law was written. The law was written so that those who've been affected by marijuana, those who've been arrested, those who did time, y'all brothers and sisters will be able to start these marijuana businesses with fees being waived,
expedited,
opportunities that's going to come.
Yes.
All of that is written into this bill. And so if you're interested, call me, inbox me, 708-663-5262, and I will explain it to you so we can organize ourselves and purchase. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Well, that's the wrong thing to do, marijuana on the brain. Alcohol been killing black people ever since the Indians. And tobacco, it's legal.
What about tobacco?
Smoking cigarettes. So guess what? Most of the alcohol are owned by white companies. Most of the cigarette companies are owned by whites. And who is the biggest consumer?
Hello?
Black people. So what I'm saying is, let's not get caught behind the 8 ball. If this marijuana thing comes down, let us own the dispensaries. Let us own the cultivation. Let us be on that. And that way the dollar will stay in the community. Then we take that money and we keep building our communities, rebuilding our communities.
Reinvesting.
That's what we do. We keep rebuilding. We don't even have to wait to that. If black people were smart, and I keep giving my number out, 708-663-5262, I'm a consultant. We do marketing. We do all of that with the Little Driving While Black Foundation. We help people start businesses. We can show you ways how to get into things so you can quit depending on somebody else to feed you with a paycheck.
That's right.
I know everybody gonna say, well, I went to college and I got the big degree. You'll be paying for that shit a lifetime. And you'll always be a slave to somebody else's job.
And credit.
So what I'm saying is this: don't go to the polls. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't worry about who's in office, because if you say you know God, God got us. But think about how you can invest into your community, and think about how that you can make yourself a better person. Think about how you, if you're married, think about how you and your mate can make your
Team.
marriage a
Or what do you call
team,
them? Power couple.
and raise your children,
Yes.
because our children are not being raised. And it's saying that we're gonna take a quick break because that's the next segment. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is Let the Truth Be Told. Let the truth be told. It will move your soul. We'll see you in a second.
Come on. JD on the track. It's your boy Preacher. Yeah. True. Come on. Hey. True. Hey. True. Hey. I'm married to truth. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Yeah. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Come on. I'm married to the truth. You're always there for me. There for me. And I know that you care for me. Care for me. You're always down for me. Down for me. You're always there to pick me up. You quenched my thirst when I was thirsty. I feel like Lord, please have mercy. Man, homie, when I'm feeling lonely, cause it's the truth that shape and mold me. Truth be told, cause I'm married to it. If it ain't the truth, man, I don't wanna do it. Real love, be official. It bear forgiveness and it be sacrificial. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Yeah. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Come on.
And welcome back. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is Let the Truth Be Told. Now, folks, if you're just tuning in, you missed a good segment, but you can catch it on Facebook Live. We'll send it out. When I look at the situation with the black family, and I know how I was raised. I know how a lot of us was raised with a mother and father in the family.
Right.
That structure is what catapulted the black community into the forefront in the 60s and the 70s and then in the 80s. Okay?
That was the foundation for sure.
Right. That the black family,
out of life,
right.
Was the family.
It was the family.
Yes.
And so we didn't see it coming because we went to sleep when we thought we were successful, and we wasn't.
We was following along with their plan, their calculated
And so
plan.
I look at us today. The black family has went through some things, and I'm gonna read these off to you, and I'm gonna explain quickly, and then we're gonna talk about the relationship part. In the destruction of the black family, the government knew that in order to weaken us, they would have to take the black man out the household.
Yes, sir.
And so when the president and the Democrats came up with the idea of welfare, but they made the rules, they set this in stone, they sit back and plan on we might not get them right now, but in the long run, it's going to affect them, and the black family will be destroyed.
Exactly.
Okay? And so the first thing that they did was they came up with the welfare system that was supposed to help black people get to the next level of life. But way they made the rules to it was that if you got into the welfare system, that you cannot have a black man
You couldn't have the man in the household.
in the house,
That's right.
in the family, if you wanted the crumbs that the government was going to give you. Okay? And so black men, we survived that. We survived that because we went beyond the call of duty and we created our own wealth. We became entrepreneurs. We opened small stores. I mean, even though we know
Street business
that
too.
this society was set up for us to fail, black men of old did what they had. As time went on, the interjection of the mindset for black women was to seek equality, and the feminine movement was created. Now, to my sisters, the feminine movement was created.
Once again.
It was created for you to become what is called, and let me read this agenda now because we hitting these spots. Okay, the first thing, and this started in slavery time, was the destruction. That's when they started destroying the black family. The first thing was false gods and religion.
Yes.
That's the first thing the white man implemented to start bringing us down and to separate us. They know that
they removed parts of the Bible. They keep in mind, even the false religion. When they gave you the Bible, they didn't give you the Bible. They gave you an altered version of the Bible.
Exactly.
Okay, so that they could push that propaganda.
Right.
Go ahead.
And so the false religion arises. Black people get into the Bible but don't know all the facts about the real Bible.
Exactly.
And then we become sheep.
Complacent.
We become saying, the Lord gonna get at me. The Lord gonna get him. Well,
take all the fight out you. Be a good slave to your master.
To make us think and depend on God, which we do depend on God, but God says he blesses a child that has his own. And so faith without work is dead, and work without faith is dead. And so what we did was say, we not gonna fight, we gonna let God fight. But God need arms and legs to get his mission done, just like he did with Moses, David, Samson.
Right. That's right.
Every leader, God used them to help his people.
That's right, amen.
And so when we fell into the trap of the religion, that was the first phase, was to separate the black religious community with the different denominations, and so that we would fight each other and not miss the big picture.
And Baptist,
right.
You this and you that is
right.
It's a separation. It's always got to be a separation.
And not miss,
and conquer.
And we missed the big picture of trying to please God through a system that the white man created for us. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, the second phase of the destruction of the black family was the independent woman. Now, we just started about that. Let me explain that to my sisters, what that meant to y'all. That meant that after we could get the black man out the family, that he couldn't get a job because they destroyed. They'll hire a black woman in a second. But they didn't want the black man to be able to take care of his family. So what they did, this is how mean and cruel that this government been to black people.
And well thought out.
Well planned.
Yes.
You would destroy a family because you know that most black people was working in factories and the jobs and all of that.
Yep.
You would see, and this is why I said black people, we have to think. We have to take a look at what we're saying now and start thinking about this was all done by design.
Absolutely.
All by design.
Remove them jobs from them.
Let's pull all the jobs. These black people are doing too good.
They're getting on even basis.
They're buying properties. They're building their schools up. We had our own businesses back in the day. They're doing everything that we're doing, and they're better at it. They don't need us. Their communities, right.
They ain't gonna complain. They ain't gonna complain about it.
They're gonna work. They're gonna work a double shift and rest for 8 hours and come back to make that money because they got houses. They taking care of their kids.
That's right.
So the white man is so mean. He is so mean that he saw our progress, and so he said, "Guess what?
We got to do something about this.
We got to stop this. So let's put all our economic factories and all these jobs out the black community. So and then throw the drugs in, so that we can take the black man totally out, and then we're gonna start building jails, and we're gonna start throwing them in jails and changing laws so that they don't know what's happening till it's too late." And they standing in front of a judge.
Color of law, yeah. Yes.
And so then our black women was left to become independent. And so now usher in the feminine. I'm strong. I'm an independent black woman.
I don't need him. He got a record.
I don't need him.
Yep.
He ain't got nothing.
Yep.
He ain't got no job. He ain't got this. But they're not taking into consideration that the jobs have been swept away from black men, so they can't be men. And so our sisters would abandon a man that's, even if he's trying and he doesn't have it, they made our women think that the only way a man can be in my life is he got to have equal to what I have or better than what I have. And a man that ain't got below that, I can't deal with him.
And materialistic. You know,
right.
Everybody become a material girl.
Right. And so all these subliminal messages, our sisters pick that man up. But sisters, remember this. You still see white women getting married every other day. They getting married so damn much. They have shows called, what is the bride, wedding dress?
Bachelor.
Yeah, the wedding dress, right. Get the dress.
Get the bachelor.
You see mostly whites on there. You don't see a bunch of black women celebrating getting married, because the idea of it is, I don't need my black man. I'm independent. I can take care of my own kids. And then the self-hate and the war between black men and black women started.
Yes, I agree with that.
It started.
Yep, that has a lot to do with it. And once again, that was a calculated move.
That was all calculated.
That was a calculated move. I mean,
and then,
despite the disparity that it places, you kind of got to give it to him. That was a well thought out. Yeah, that was well thought out.
Because our women, and I see the comments. I see the comments on the internet, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I see all the comments, man, about women talking about what a man ain't got.
Right.
And what a man can't do for me.
And what he need to get with me.
All of that stuff.
Yeah, yes.
And so with that mindset, the war between men and women, there's no communication. See,
and let me interject.
Go ahead.
It also, you got to look at the unfair mindset that in itself, you know, just to recuperate, just to produce, to reproduce. The man come with the mindset now, okay, well, I got to get this flash and this jewelry and this, that, and the other way, so I can impress the woman. So now I'm going to go out here and throw rocks at the penitentiary walls so I can get some and so I can reproduce, so we can reproduce as a people, period. And now that places you in a position to go to jail or to come back to the same vicious
cycle. And that's the thing, because it was well planned, because brothers who were real men that went to the penitentiary that had got so downtrodden and so psychologically beat down that they wanted to take care. You know, here comes the robbery. I'm forced to do this because I got to feed my family. I got to feed my family. I got to do this.
Yeah, and I got full conviction.
And all of that was part of this grand scheme.
Yes.
And see, me and my brother were talking. That actually happened in the black community.
Yes, it did.
And we know that was happening.
And we're not aware to it. We're not acting upon
black
it.
Men,
we're not making a response to that
black
action.
men, we have to be responsible for our own actions.
That's right.
If you know that if you put your hand in the fire, that your hand gonna get burned, why you put your hand in the fire anyway?
Keep in mind, let me interject. Now, hold on. Back to what we were saying. That plan that they did, that well calculated.
It was well thought out.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And why did you put your hand in the fire? Because
there are some brothers
had no other choice.
Right.
Okay, I gotta make way. Hey, look, the bill is due. I don't care what.
Right, exactly.
Hey, homeboy, man, can you hear me? Because I gotta get this done. I'm in need.
Right. And so, but still yet, we have to be cognizant of the trap.
Right.
The trap is there.
The trap has been laid. It's a well thought
And
out
so
plan.
a lot of our brothers, out of desperation to be men and take care of their families, went the wrong way and made the wrong decisions, and it cost them.
Yes.
And while cost was going on, our sisters was left behind to deal with this system
And our children.
and to raise our children. And so that's why we got this situation today, because but that was just part of it. See, and once the independent woman was in effect, then our sisters gravitated from the black men, because I ain't gonna have no poor nigga living off me, and he ain't at my level. Then our sisters start gravitating from men to other women.
Another divide and
we coming
conquer
to that.
move.
We coming to that.
Divide and
We coming to that.
move.
And so,
How the heck? Wait, excuse me. I gotta say this one. How the heck did they go for a bill, reparations bills for that? Did you see that LGBT reparations bill?
Man, everybody thinking about them. I ain't thinking about that shit.
How did they get a bill?
Because they stuck together and got it. We gonna get to that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, man. You know what, man? I'm saying, I'm gonna be quite frank with you. I don't care about gay people being gay. You can be gay all you want to.
That's your business.
But stay in your place. I can't get famous for having sex with no woman. I have sex with my woman. It's just another sex escapade. That's all. If you have sex with a man, that's what you want to do, leave it there. You ain't got to make everybody stay. That's your bedroom stuff.
But whoever you having sex with, or whatever your sexual preference is, that doesn't change the color of your skin.
No, it don't.
Let us not forget
no, it don't.
You and your people.
See, we jumped. We jumped. We jumped. So the next subject is then when our men was gone, locked away. Our women was trying to deal with our children, and I love women and I love black women. They had a hard time trying to deal with taking care of our kids, dealing with the society, dealing with the oppression that the kids were going through. Our black women had a hard damn time. And I realized
working 2 jobs to make ends meet.
Yeah, and so the black men that was out here became players because it's 7-1. That was another by design. So now black men, you're married, but you got 3 or 4 other women on the side because there ain't that many men out here, and you still effing up the family.
Exactly. Yes.
You still effing up.
Yes.
And see, so black men have to be men. If you marry somebody, and I've been guilty of it myself, I cheated before, but as I got older, I found out and I saw the detrimental of cheating. That's why now I'm not married, but if I'm gonna date somebody, it's gonna be just that one woman.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be 5, 6. I'm not. First of all, I ain't gonna spread myself that thin. But you got to keep lying on top of lies.
Yes.
And so, black men, we have to understand.
And it's gonna slow your growth.
Man, please, we got to understand this. We destroying our women by lying and sleeping with them and doing all sorts of things, getting money out of them, treating them like dogs. And then the part of the problem with our communication thing is both parties, men and women, have been dogged out so much they can't even get together and have a relationship now because of the mindset.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now we're gonna go on down the line. We're gonna get to that section.
That's a direct consequence of the circumstance.
And so this is all what I'm talking about. These are all the things. And if you think about it, these agendas were set by the government to destroy our families.
Yes, by design.
And so if you think about what I'm saying,
thought it out.
If you think about what I'm saying, you're gonna say, damn, that's the truth.
And that's what this is about. Let the truth be told.
And then the rap music. The rap music came, and our people bought into it. Our younger people bought into it. The degradation of the black woman, the bitches, the hoes, the dope dealing, the gold chains, all of that. The whole ideology of being a rebel, and not even know what the hell you're gonna be a rebel for. Our young men at that time did not know how to be men. And they latched onto any money-making thing that they could. Then they had all our children running around ghetto in our black community talking about they want to be a rapper. And only a few was going to get to fame.
And let me interject and say something on that subject. Okay, you had like Ice Cube and you had the Eazy-E's. You had the ones that was out they're bringing the message as it started. But then let's take a look at who was the corporations and the media
They
control
changed
that
it.
was behind it. They were the ones responsible. They decided who's going to be giving this and who's going to be putting
Right.
this position, who going to be paid what, how we going to glorify this, what we going to allow you
Right.
to say, what we going to allow you to serve. And look at let me skip the point. Let me look at Tupac though. Tupac, who was an actual visionary and who took that and picked that up as a Black Panther, used that as a tool to spread the message, the positive message. What happened? What they do? Just like Bill Cosby.
Well,
Just, I mean, come on, this is a calculated thing. This
the
is what I'm
white
saying.
man's
So,
smart.
Exactly.
The white man's smart because you know what?
Yes, sir,
He'll
he is.
he'll
Yes, he
give
is.
he'll give
He'll
you
get
all
by all means.
he will give you all the things to destroy yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
Corporations, yes.
You get all that money. He allows you to get this. You buy that.
They control the magazines.
Right,
They
right.
show,
all
they
of
show
that.
all
And
that
so,
flash and that
right,
glam and get you to pump,
you
buy
get you
them
the money.
$400 jeans and
All that.
your
You
economic
think about that.
empowerment
We're
discombobulated.
the only race running around here
Gucci.
killing each other for gym shoes, wearing Gucci ala Rucci. Man, white folks don't flash their financial wealth on their backs. You Bill Gates walk around here a pair of $10 Converse and a billionaire.
Yeah, for 10 years.
Because see, white folks understand it ain't about the materialistic stuff that I can show people I got. It's about having money in the bank and being able to buy shit and do stuff.
I got it.
Exactly.
The fact that I got
So we always want to show everybody we doing good. Hell, buy your own communities up instead of buying gym shoes and cars and other bullshit, and then show the world how good we can do. Okay? So the music was part of the problem. And then this is one that really hurt Black people, was them undisciplined children.
Well, in our defense, I would like to say
ain't no damn defense. What are you doing in your defense?
No.
What
Well,
defense?
I got to say this.
Whoop
Let me interject.
that ass.
Yes. But let me say this. Now, wait a minute now. Let us keep in mind, because see, this is something that I did. ICFS removed the children from the family. And see, in law, hold on just one moment. In law, the government never had the right to invade the family's right to privacy.
Right.
But yet they came out with these rules. You can't do corporal punishment. Well, that's a lie. Corporal punishment is legal. If you don't beat your kid to the point where you've caused damage, where you would actually have a charge against you, then there is no business for the police for the police to come in your home and take in your kids. But this is what they did, and they were getting paid for doing it. And you know what I had to do? I had to go in, I had to fight tooth and nail, hand and foot, or what have you, with everybody to get them to come to the realization that you're taking a disappropriate amount of the minority was taken in a disappropriate number. That had to be made aware. And people got together and started looking at that. The next thing you know, what they passed, they took away them incentives. We had to take that taste out their mouth. Because when you're taking these kids out of the families, then you putting them in a system where they getting paid for it.
Right, exactly.
They getting paid for it, but they messing up the mindset of all them children that came through DCFS. Now you got people scared to whoop their kids because Becky Sue, because my Bell girl just got took from DCFS. She gave her a whooping. Or the child and picked up the phone and called DCFS. My mama whooped me because I came in late. Right. And then they come in and
they come and get you.
But
so
it's by design.
It's all by design.
It's all by design.
It's all by design. And that's what I'm saying to you today, and all these subjects I'm bringing up, if you think about it, all that shit has been accomplished in our families, in the community, and it's really destroying
destruction
us.
of the family.
So the undisciplined children is the children that's killing each other now. These children don't know how to be an adult. They haven't been taught anything. That's because they haven't had any discipline. And the Bible said, you spare the rod, you spoil it. And we got our children uneducated about life and don't have no spiritual value. And that's why they're killing and doing crazy stuff. We got to get to the next segment.
Okay, let me interject and say one thing with that. Not only in the homes, also with the street tribes. Because when we say they took away the structure and the discipline, we had structure and discipline out here in the streets, but they took away all that too by design.
All by design. That was our army. They took the army off the streets.
They took the streets. They took the leadership off the streets.
And then this is the next thing. And this is why, folks, I know y'all getting closer. We're going to get close. I'm going to shoot this one out here. The gay and lesbian agenda. That was the biggest destruction of the Black family, because when they made it okay to be gay, when Obama passed the law that same-sex marriage, God created man and woman. He didn't create what we see now. That also hurt the Black family, because now you got women raising gay men and think that it's okay to be gay. They're not reproducing. They're not doing any of that. And so the black family, not only has it been destroyed, but it's been weakened so bad that these gay raised boys don't even go out the house. They don't know how, they can't fish. They can't hunt. They can't do nothing. They can't even change the flat. And so the concept of the lesbian and gay movement has been almost the final destruction of the black family. Now this is
feminization of the men,
right?
Now
this is going to be the end. This is going to be the end
movies.
right here for us.
Yeah, and dress.
Black people, I worked for the federal government for almost 15 years as a contracting officer. I've seen some things that this government has done to us, chemical and all of that. Our food is being poisoned. I'm telling you now, the food is being poisoned. That's why we're having to take so many meds. That's why blood pressure pills, all these other by this government. The air is being poisoned by this government. That's why you see so many upper respiratory things. You're seeing different viruses come out.
It wasn't before.
I worked at the Rock Island Arsenal. It was a chemical munitions plant. They made all sorts of chemical weapons that we used against the enemy. The same chemical stuff is being put into the air in the United States against the United States citizens. So that is being accomplished. So to round this up, I'm saying this, brothers and sisters, the key to a relationship, let's take all these rules away. Black women, stop worrying about getting somebody that can do your hair, giving this criteria for men to meet to satisfy you and yourself. Black men, let us stop playing into the game of having a bunch of hoes, calling our women bitches, and let us start taking care of our kids. If you make a baby, take care of that baby. We have to start communicating with each other. That's why black women ain't getting married, and that's why black men ain't
keeping the fathers out of the families.
Yeah,
but see, that was by design.
Y'all in a position to make a big difference.
Yes,
y'all in a position to make a big difference. Y'all got to get past all these barriers. So what, you make a few dollars. So what, you got a few friends. But guess what? At the end of the day, if you ain't got a real man in your life, you ain't got nothing. Billy D said something powerful. You can have all the shit in the world you want, but if you ain't sharing it with somebody you love, you have nothing. That's right. And so, sisters, let us think. Let us give men an opportunity. And men, let us be men. If we're going to deal with a woman, let us take the responsibility of the way old school men used to do that part. And I think that if you have some integrity as a man and you have responsibilities as a man to take care of your kids, and you don't allow people to come in and make a fool out of you, other women to use you, vice versa. Don't do it. Let's start communicating so we can get to a place where you can be a team. Communications is the key. Let us start rebuilding the black family. Brother, your last word.
With that being said, everybody got to realize there's the only way we're going to be safe. The only one way we're going to be safe is if you wake up and you look in that mirror. What you going to do today?
You know, I want to thank everybody for listening to the show. I want folks to really pass it around. I hope that we jogged some memories. I hope that we made people think, because that's the key. You know, I hear a lot of other shows, the Steve Harveys and all of them, man, they're in a powerful position and they can make a change, but they don't. So with this show, share this show. Black people, it's time for us to unite, time for us to save our families. God bless y'all. I love black investment, black people, the black family. God bless us and save us, because we need you. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr. The show is Let the Truth Be Told. Let the Truth Be Told. We'll see everybody next week. God bless you. Be safe. Have a great weekend.
I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Yeah, I'm married to